Welcome back to Cossy Podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. I have a special one in the studio. Webb is on the channel for the first time, but not for the very last time, obviously. He will be back and we'll be doing a lot of content. Welcome to the show, bro.
Man U and Arsenal.
Man U versus Arsenal.
Yes.
For the first time.
Hotspot with Webb. Tell them to subscribe to Hotspot.
You can subscribe to Webb. Man United, Arsenal fans as well if you want that kind of banter. If you want to banter him on his channel, it is called the Hotspot on YouTube.
Hotspot with Webb.
Hotspot with Webb. Yeah. Obviously, you can also find him on TikTok as well.
Yeah.
And he's a guy from NBS Sport. So make sure, I know some of you actually know him.
Monday, 10 p.m. tomorrow, I'll be there.
Definitely. All right. So he thinks Arsenal are not going to be title winners this campaign. And he thinks we will actually decline in our position from second to probably third and potentially fourth as well. Right?
Yeah.
Let's start there. We've had a glamorous window. I would call it glamorous because we have had a 100 million player smashed our transfer record. And I think the most important thing that we have done is to keep our best players. I thought Saka would go, but he was tied down to a new contract. Odegaard is going to sign a new contract as well. Saliba is going to sign a new contract. Actually, has signed a new contract. So we've kept our best players. We've kept our manager, and we have added a player that would start for every team in Europe, in world football. Why do you think we will not compete for the title? Why do you think we are not title challengers?
Well, you've added that player. I'm sure you're talking about
Declan Rice, definitely.
But what has he improved about Arsenal? He's a good player, but was Arsenal's need in terms of improving from finishing second to beating Manchester City to the title, was it Declan Rice? I don't think so. I think even without Declan Rice, and I'm not saying he's not good, he's good, he's performing well. I was just talking about him with you here when he was playing. I love watching him play, but he has not made Arsenal be better
than last campaign.
I don't think he has. If Arsenal had signed a Victor Osimhen, a world-class striker, who is going to bang in 25 goals a season, then Arsenal would be competing for the title. So I feel like the signings that Arsenal has made are just keeping them there almost.
Just keeping us in position. There's an interesting bet that I was watching on TalkSport. And someone Jordan actually put up a very interesting point. He said Arsenal will have to spend 100 million every single summer just to maintain. Just to maintain. Not to improve. If you want to improve, you go 200, 300. But Arsenal will have to go 100 million just to maintain. And you actually bring this point across that Arsenal have spent money on Declan Rice and they're just maintaining. We've not had a very good start to the campaign the way we played fluid football. We are winning games. It's not interesting. It's not fluid yet.
Yet last season,
it was fluid
for you.
Yeah, it was fluid. It was fluent. But why I think we're title contenders actually would be what Mikel Arteta is trying to do. So what I've seen, what Declan Rice actually adds to the team is we are having more possession. We are keeping more possession. We're keeping more hold of the ball. The least amount of possession we've had in a game this season has been against Fulham. That is the least. It was around 56% ball possession. The rest of the games, we've dominated play. We've had a lot of the ball. Not the chances though, not the shots, not the quality in the final third. I think that might come. So I think the template Man City have actually beaten us with, I think we already have a copy. Literally, they just keep the ball. They stick the plan. They stick to.
Arsenal will always keep the ball, even before.
Yeah, true.
Well, you've improved maybe. You keep it more.
Yeah.
But Arsenal will always expected to keep the ball when Arsenal is playing. Since Arsene Wenger, that's the culture, that's the style of Arsenal. You play while keeping the ball. You've spoken about creating chances. How many chances did Arsenal create today against Everton?
Well, literally, we created two chances.
Exactly.
Two chances.
So
one big chance. And
but you had 75%.
Yeah, 70%.
So you've kept all of the ball.
And only 4 shots on target.
Only 4 shots on target. You've kept all of the ball, but you don't have a Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
You don't have a Rasmus Højlund. We hope him to be
number 9. A natural number 9.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
And the Premier League, if you're going to win the Premier League, go back to history. Yeah. You've got, unless you're Manchester City, that had that special Man City where everyone would just
score goals. Jesus, Sterling, Riyad Mahrez.
But even for them, they knew they couldn't sustain that in the Premier League. That's why they went for Erling Haaland. So
Again, I
for
get
me,
the point.
Arsenal, if Arsenal were going to improve from where they were last season, Arsenal for me should have just. If Arsenal signed Harry Kane, don't
This
tell me
summer.
about Declan Rice.
Yeah.
If Arsenal signed Harry Kane, Victor Osimhen, the best strikers in the world, and I think there are only 2 or 3, I would say Arsenal can be title contenders. Even with the squad they had, even if they hadn't signed another player.
And just add that
Just
hurricane.
add a bully in a striker, a world-class striker. Don't tell me about Gabriel Jesus, Nketiah.
Yeah, they're strikers that massively underscore their expected goals, so they will miss a lot of chances, and they do. As a problem, I've talked about it before on this channel, but I have a point that I really put across on this channel a lot of the time, and that is the ability for Arsenal to solicit goals from different areas of the pitch. We're one of the best teams, I think, behind Brighton to do that. We were behind Brighton to do that last campaign. Odegaard 15, Saka 15, Martinelli 11, Gabriel Jesus 11, Xhaka 7. Do you think that multiple, scattergun approach in scoring goals could sustain us?
It can't deliver a title. You will be there among the top 4. You will stay where you've been forever. Because if you're going to win the Premier League, you've got to have a 25-man
scorer.
Goal
scorer.
striker. The other guys can add on to his goals, but you need a striker. And that's why, if Arsenal continue like this with these pretenders of strikers, Man United clicks with Rasmus Højlund. Man United will win the Premier League before Arsenal does.
Well, it's a hot take. That would be a very hot take. Because United, we'll talk about United on the 90 More podcast. I'm sure you subscribe, but United are kind of far away. But they do have that number 9 now. They do have that. And you could see
that's
the kind
progress.
of impact.
That was a big problem United has had.
Yeah, true. I agree. Because Anthony Martial does not really lead the line like a player like Rasmus Højlund. So you're saying it is not sustainable for us to get goals from all these different areas. It's also
It'll
true.
keep you there in the top 4, but you won't win a title, and that's what you need.
But Liverpool have done it. Yes, Salah is like a beast in goal scoring.
Salah is like a striker. I mean,
true. He scores a lot.
He scores a lot, and you see, you don't have such a player who scores a lot.
Yeah, true. That's true.
Yeah.
But do you think we could turn a player like Leandro Trossard or a player like Saka into a more Salah, and just focus on him to finish, focus on his finishing to go 2025?
I think if you had the right players, you had a Sadio Mane or Bobby Firmino around him. In terms of, I think what made Salah score those many goals, and he is still scoring goals without these players. But I don't think at a rate that would deliver a Premier League title for Liverpool. He will score them, but they still won't win a title. The thing with the trio of Salah, Mane, and Firmino, it was whatever Salah can do, the other 2 can do. You understand?
Yeah, as well. Yeah.
So those 3 up front, they were like 3 strikers. They were like 3 number 9s.
3 number 9s.
The way they would play was just can't deal with it.
And they're so direct as well. I think it's again it's something we don't have as well.
Also comfortable on the ball. They are also smart. They are also unpredictable. They gel together. So it's difficult to recreate that on any other team. I feel it's like recreating what Barcelona had with Messi,
Xavi, Iniesta.
You understand? You just
can't find it anywhere.
But if you have it, it's the perfect thing. It's entertaining and it gives you so many goals. I don't think Arsenal can create that. Martinelli is good. I love Martinelli in this Arsenal team. He can't give you that. Well,
I think he's a 15-goal player from the wings. That's decent, but I don't think he's a 2025. A season. Same as Saka, same as Odegaard.
Exactly.
So the number 9 is a problem. But I think the goals we have in our squad.
And the funny thing is, Arsenal guys are pretending about it. You don't talk about Arsenal needing a number 9.
No, I always.
In the windows, people do. Arsenal needed a striker as much as Manchester United needed one. If Arsenal were going to go for a title, you don't spend 100 and whatever million on Declan Rice.
And I think Thomas Partey, I think why he wanted to spend 100 million on Declan Rice. First and foremost, the DM market is crazy because Caicedo is 100 plus. Actually, 100 and.
That's how football has changed.
Exactly.
The most expensive.
Chouameni is closing to 100, and Rice is definitely 100. So there's nothing you can do. Bellingham is exactly. But I think also is the inconsistency and unreliability of Partey. He's now injured until late October, and he picks up that recurring injury. Like it's a thigh injury, it's a groin injury, it's recurring.
Which is okay, makes sense. But let me ask you a question: if you were Mikel Arteta, would you spend 120? Was it how much is
115 million euros
on Declan Rice? or would you spend the same amount of money on Victor Osimhen to improve Arsenal?
I would spend it on Ken. If it was,
Ken,
yeah,
okay,
I would
yes.
spend it on Ken.
Ken, not Osimhen.
Yeah,
Okay, but
on a
a
striker like
striker,
Ken,
yeah.
I would go for a striker. Actually, I thought our biggest problem last season was not a Declan Rice problem. I thought our biggest problem was if we could get a player like Joao Felix to fit in for Xhaka because he was getting a lot of chances in the penalty area, and then get a number 9, like that kind of guy that would score lazy goals, right?
2 players would make Arsenal better.
Yeah,
Turn around Arsenal.
yeah, definitely.
Get a cheap option to back up Partey, who is injury prone. And there are so many young players. This former Southampton boy who went to Chelsea,
Romeo Lavia.
Lavia was there.
Easy.
Easily have gotten Lavia for 30,
easy.
for 35, 40 million.
Yeah.
Then you spend
And Edson Alvarez. I thought we would actually be in the market for Edson Alvarez. That
and
eventually
then you
went enough.
spend what 68 or 70 on Kai Havertz. Then so much on Declan Rice. Yes, he's good. He's a player you would want to have in your team, but at what cost? Get a striker, more goals. Man City has
Erling
Haaland.
Haaland.
You have Nketiah.
Yes, yeah. I mean, there's a big difference there.
Forget about the title, guys. I'm sorry to say this, Arsenal guys.
We are not forgetting about the title. We are not. We are not. We just want to believe, right? Now you're saying there might be a drop off in position.
Yeah.
Is it because teams are getting much better, or you think we will decline as a club?
Because I think when you get up, and for me, I think Arsenal got to the highest
They
can get in this era.
85 points.
But did not win the title, unfortunately. I would have loved Arsenal to win the title. Imagine, this is a Man U fan saying this. I would have loved Arsenal to win the Premier League
Last season,
and that was for me your best chance to winning it.
yeah, it was.
It didn't happen. Naturally, the only normal place to go when you go up so high, unfortunately, is because it's go down. Now, as Arsenal are going down, struggling or even struggling to maintain and stay there, other teams like Manchester United, teams like Liverpool, do not have that pressure. We don't have that.
You don't have the pressure to sustain whatever was not.
If Man U finished third again, there are people who will be happy.
I think your fan base would be happy because you've literally not had that glamorous season.
Even top 4, even if you finish 4th this season.
Yeah.
Maybe next season we would start demanding for more, but this season you understand. Liverpool, no one was giving them the title, putting them in the title conversation. It was always Man City now and Arsenal.
Arsenal,
so for them, they have, look at Tottenham. Not that they're title contenders, they're probably not, but they're doing their work silently. There's no pressure. So the pressure is a lot on Arsenal.
Yeah, sure.
And you needed at least that player who can give you some bit of confidence and belief that, okay, we have this pressure to win the title, but we've got Haaland up front. We've got Harry Kane scoring 25 goals. Arsenal now is feel good. You can't play a good game, beat Man U, perform well. Declan Rice has been good. To what end?
Sure.
You need a number 9.
I mean, we've done our transfers in phases, and I love the fact that Mikel has actually done his business in phases. Phase 1, he cleared out a lot of players. Phase 2, he did the same, and then phase 3, he started bringing in like real good players: Odegaard, Ramsdale. Phase 4, Rice, and so phase 5 is going to be like a centre forward. Just what has been saying is like a real Arsenal supporter and reporter, and he said if it's going to be something big in phase 5, they're looking at a centre forward. Is it too late? Like, do you think it would be late for us to go in number 9 in the summer of 2024? Rather than in number 9 in the summer of 2023.
It will depend on what your ambitions are. If you're thinking, because most Arsenal fans might have come into this season feeling like they want to win this Premier League.
I personally want to win it because
then it's too late.
that is where we should be going.
That would be it's already too late. Even if you brought them in January, it would be too late. If really that's what you wanted, you should have signed that player in this past summer. But if you did in the next summer, got a striker.
With Declan Rice already fitting in the team.
Exactly. Then Arsenal should be competing for the title the following season.
Okay. So we are not title contenders. We might drop off, according to you. I've actually predicted Arsenal to go 90 points this season. We had 85 last season. I've gone 90 points. And I didn't say we will win it. Actually, on my predictions, I said I think City will go unbeaten and they will.
But then you see, even if you got 90 or 100 points and you don't
win it,
I I mean, what's that?
Do you think we bottled it last season?
You get 100 and the winner will get 105.
Yeah.
So already, yes, higher points, but what have they delivered?
No, nothing. Do you think we bottled it last season, or you think it was just our good season and Man City outperformed us?
I think for me, Arsenal overachieved last season.
Yeah, definitely. Apart from Brighton, we were the next overachievers.
Yeah, you overachieved. I think you should be happy about everything. You can't even think about we bottled it. You had no right to think you can beat Man City to that title. But you have a lot to celebrate.
But being there for 248 days.
That's why I'm saying that is enough for you to celebrate that. Yeah. Because look at that Man City.
Sure.
Did you expect that you would stay there that long with that?
No, we didn't. Actually, I didn't even think about it.
So for me, I reached a point and I'm thinking, okay, Arsenal should win. But then actually, honestly, reached a point and I'm feeling, once they can't win it, they won't. But they have done well. You understand? So I think Arsenal guys, and that season gives you a lot of confidence and belief. The only thing though is the fans get too excited when such a season happens. The next season, the fans want.
We are demanding
want
for the title.
But realistically, if you look at Arsenal, they were where we are now. Some time back, you left that place, and you're seeing proper progress from Mikel Arteta.
There is.
Give it time. Get it. Sorry, you spoke about the phases, and I think you are right on on the nail. I think after that phase where you get a striker, because most of the main players at Arsenal are young.
Yeah, sure.
So the next season, if they get a striker in there, then you can start now saying, okay, this team can really compete for the title. Because Man City is way ahead of everyone else. That's the fact.
Yeah, they are.
But also, even Liverpool is not so far away from where they were. The template at Liverpool is so easy for Pep to fit anyone in. Unlike Man City and Arsenal before, because now Mikel Arteta is cleaning the template. But unlike Man U and Arsenal, the template for Liverpool, even when they have lost players, they are changing things. It's very easy for their template to pick up and work again and compete. I think Liverpool can easily be title contenders than Man United and even maybe Arsenal.
I think they are. I personally think they are. They've worked on their midfield. They just need to find those goals from anywhere. If they can find them from Gakpo, that would be fine. If they can find them for Down Nunes, that would be fine. Do you think that makes Arsenal? Do you think Liverpool becoming better makes Arsenal better as well this season? Because we have two big giants to look up to rather than one.
Yeah, and it also grows Arsenal into the whole title, because that's how the Premier League is.
It's
It can't be just
a two-horse race.
Two-horse race. It's never. Even Man U is there. It's silent, struggling. But you see, if you watch Man U games, you see that Man U is improving.
Yeah, there's quality. There's a lot of quality in the team.
There is a lot of things improving, and you see Man U's troubles have started early, so they have the longer, a number of games to reorganize and get better. So the pressure, I feel like the team under the most pressure is Arsenal.
Yeah, true.
For me,
true.
in the Premier League, the team with the most pressure for me is Arsenal.
Yeah, and Mikel, because he's spent almost $500 million now. Like I didn't realize we had spent that much.
That's so not Arsenal.
Yeah, true. That's not Arsenal. I was looking at how we have been breaking our transfer window, transfer records, and it took us a whole decade to break the Will Todd transfer record to Arshavin, and that was 15 million, just 15. So that is not Arsenal to spend $500 million in 5 years, actually less than 5 years that Arteta has been here. So guys, let us know in the comment box below. Do you think Arsenal will win the title? Will we drop off? Do you agree with Webb? And keep the comments, of course, coming and respectful. There's an interesting topic at Arsenal, and it's Kai Havertz. So the window was good. Julian Timber, if it's not the injury, very good buy. Top centre back. Declan Rice, top guy. Played in the Premier League, winner of the Conference League, on the Ballon d'Or list. He's decorated now. But Kai Havertz, I personally believe in him, and I've clashed with everyone on this channel. These are Arsenal fans. We've clashed. I have a few that kind of feel like, well, because you have a point, he will come around. But very few believe that. So, Kai, do you think we have made a mistake? Do you think we have spent 75 million that we shouldn't have?
I just told you, I think Arsenal should have spent that money
on the centre forward.
On the centre forward. But Kai Havertz, I think I liken the Kai Havertz situation to us and Mason Mount.
Yeah, Mason Mount.
This is a coach's player. You see,
I like Mount, by the way. I do like Mount.
When a coach is fascinated about a player, because I'll ask you a question. What problem? You gave me a problem that Declan Rice, of course, he came with that at high cost, but he was trying to solve a problem, and we are seeing it with Partey and his inconsistency
at the same.
What problem is Kai Havertz solving for Arsenal?
Well,
for 75 million.
Well, for 75 mil, I can't justify.
What's the 75?
I really can't.
That's exactly
because I honestly, there are so many players that would be an upgrade on Granit Xhaka, going forward, scoring goals and creating chances for 35 million. That is an area of the pitch that we are lucky. You can still have a quality player for this price. I think what Mikel is looking for here, there are two things. One, a midfielder that can arrive in the penalty area and score more goals than Xhaka. I think he's used the Bayer Leverkusen template. He's looked at Kai Havertz at Bayer Leverkusen and he's gone, this is the guy. This guy makes those good runs. Thomas Muller kind of style. I don't think he's at that level anymore. Like, he spent 4 good years at Chelsea. It's no longer there. The confidence is gone. The runs are no longer, as frequent as they were. And I think for 75 million, maybe it is not justifiable. But you could see the picture. I could see the picture. I kind of feel like he wants that man that can score 14, just like Xhaka scored 7, can double the numbers.
Well, has he scored any yet?
No. In pre-season, he scored. He scored some in pre-season.
Exact same situation we are in with Mount. Man U, with all the issues we had, first player we signed is Mason Mount for nearly 60 almost 70 million.
Yeah, almost 70.
And you're thinking, okay,
what are we doing?
Yeah. So yes, the coach is so fascinated about this player. He was waxing lyric about him, how he's good in transitions, his work rate and what have you. Okay, noted, given he is. But United when you're making signings, you're solving problems. And for Arsenal, you see, and that's why I'm thinking Mikel Arteta is under a lot of pressure. Because unlike Man U, where we're trying out things, we are changing and overhauling, and we are signing fifth and fourth options of players. For Arsenal, you had a good team that was almost winning a title unexpectedly. You really gave Man City a run for their money.
Yeah, true.
Now, you just want to add on players who are going to get to the other side, title side. You spend 75 million quid already. You're spending 115 on a midfielder. You're spending You're spending 75 million on a player who was clearly way out of his best at Chelsea. So it has got to work.
Yeah, it's got, and I think it's a problem that Mikel has created for himself, and probably a problem. The only reason why I would listen to critics of Kai Havertz is a problem we didn't have to have.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a problem we didn't have to have. If you've gotten rid of Xhaka, you could bring in any player, like anyone, for 25, 35 million, and it would work out. Right? But I'm going to have to ask you, do you see any positives in Kai as a player? Generally, when you look at him, when you've seen him at Chelsea,
I think he's a different footballer from most footballers.
From what most footballers do. He's not Odegaard, he's not Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, he's different, and you see, that's always something as a manager you always want to bring in a different player to give you a certain hold when the one route doesn't work. What difference do you bring? What are you going? He's different, but you see, Arsenal did not need a different footballer. With Mount, and if Kai Havertz ended up and Man U, I would understand, because Man U is trying out things. With Arsenal, you had created
a template that works.
And what was lacking in that template?
Number 9,
and that balance. Of course, Declan Rice was needed, I think. Yeah. But it couldn't have been Declan Rice. You needed a player in that position because Partey was never consistent, but not for 120 million. You understand? But all you needed, Arsenal, because all the players were, even Granit Xhaka could have stayed if they had to. I'm not sure it would be so difficult to keep Xhaka.
I think Xhaka, family reasons, the family wanted to go back to Germany and things like that.
Let's whatever the reason. Yeah. But you could easily have got a cheap person to come and replace him, but go for a striker that would make you a title contender. What Arteta did is take himself back. Arteta behaved like Man U. You've done all the work and got there. Yeah. Then you're restarting. Because this is a restart.
You restarted the process. I actually talked about it when I was doing my season expectations for Arsenal, and I said I kind of feel like we have gone back to zero,
yeah.
right? I don't know.
And this might work or might not.
Might not actually, true.
You can't-
And before, he had taken Alexander Zinchenko out of the team.
Yeah.
He had played Partey at right back, and it was not working yet. It had not yet worked. But do you think it's because he feels teams found him out last season, and therefore he needed a new template,
I don't
a
think
fresh
so.
look?
Arsenal ended the season. Yes, they were a bit struggling, but they were still applying themselves and winning games. I feel like no team found out Arsenal. It was early days to say that they have found us out, really. Because it ended a bit on a high. Not where it was, because Man City became Man City.
Yeah, true.
You understand?
Sure.
I don't think Arsenal should have adjusted whatever they were doing because they did not win the title. They keep doing the same thing, just add one thing. A striker, a number 9. Arsenal, I was shocked we were never in the number 9 conversation.
No, we were never. Actually, the number 9 conversation popped up when the window had closed around 72 minutes after. So we talked about Arsenal interested in Evan Ferguson, and he would be a key target. Yeah. We never engaged in ourselves. Hurricane, we were nowhere near. Victor Osimhen, we were nowhere near. And I thought actually we would, because the 2 strikers that have gone to PSG, Randall Kolumwani and Ramos, those were the crows in the jaw. Those guys.
Mwani, I wish Mwani came to Man U.
Mwani is good. Mwani is really good. But I prefer Ramos. I prefer Goncalo Ramos better, the Portuguese.
For us, no.
Yeah, because he's more like that beast in the box. Yeah, beast in the penalty area.
Mwani is more of a winger, I think.
Yeah, Mwani loves to drift.
Yeah,
more like Rasmus Hoyland.
Yeah.
He's gonna drift in the middle and do all that. Ramos wants to be fed, and I think our system last season really created a lot of chances. Zinchenko created a lot of key passes. Odegaard was averaging like 2.5 key passes per 90. But this season, it's away. It's gone. So you've seen Arsenal. It's match day 5. Personally, I feel we have to improve. Like, this is unsustainable. 1-0 against Everton, then late winners against Man United, then a draw against Fulham. It's unsustainable. Do you think Arsenal will get better this season within the campaign? Do you think there are levels that will hit, there are levels, there are lockers will unlock in our game?
I think they'll become more exciting to watch at some point in terms of getting better. Better for Arsenal will mean being on top of the table, for almost the same period they were last season. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Arsenal is going to reach a point and they will just stay flat. They are winning games they should win. They lose games. They return leg against Man. I thought Man U was comfortable against us. Yes, you beat us, but I felt actually I was happy about how Man U played. To be honest, that game.
I also don't think Man United really were under massive pressure.
Exactly.
Still, I didn't see quality chances missed. Exactly. Apart from the Bukayo Saka one that maybe Onana kept out in the second half, there wasn't really much.
You didn't beat us in a way that felt okay. Arsenal last season. You understand?
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure. We were all over Manchester United.
Exactly.
We were all over Man United.
The difference was day and night. This time we're almost there, and most of our key players were not even there. Some of our key players were not in the game. So Arsenal they will get better, but not as good as they were last season. I don't see that happening because, like I said, Arsenal is restarting. For me, it's not kind of a restart. It's a restart. Yeah. He wants to do different. He wants to have the ball more.
Yeah.
He wants to have grip on games more.
Do you think it's one of the things he thinks as manager, and he's like, maybe I lost points last season at the Anfield because when I led 2-0, Liverpool had all the possession. When I led 2-0 against West Ham, they had almost the same possession as us. So is it a frailty that he thinks he wants to correct?
Yeah, well, probably it is him sticking to his plan because I think last season came too early on them. I don't think last season was intended
for Arsenal to go second.
It happened, but then he said, guys, let's not get too excited. Let's
stick to the plan. The
plan
is to
grow. I think for Arsenal, the ambition now is not to win the title.
Yeah,
Mikel Arteta and Edu, I don't think they are eyeing the title. The fans are because they were second last season, and they see Man U is sleeping, Liverpool is restarting. They see we can win it, we can beat Man City. But I think for Arteta, is proper taking the time to grow at whatever he wanted to develop at the club. So yes, it came, finished second, but he won't be derailed. He'll just keep focused on what he's doing. For me, that's what I think, and that's why I say Arsenal fans' expectations
Should be low.
should be low. Otherwise, you'll finish third or fourth, and you will start calling for Arteta's head.
Yes,
The way Man U fans were calling for Ten Hag.
Yeah, I know. So, guys, how much time would you give to Mikel Arteta? Personally, I've decided to back him all the way. He's done well. I love the culture. I love the identity. I love the signings. I love the organization, top to bottom. I think it's a new era at Arsenal, an era I've not seen. Personally, I'm 26. I've not seen Arsenal win a Premier League title, but I've not seen Arsenal disorganized, top to bottom.
Yeah.
Like all the decisions made, all the way we are spending the money, the way we are dealing with players' contracts. It's much better.
And Arteta is in full control.
Is
You
in
can
full
see
control,
that
yeah.
he's
Yeah.
in full control.
True.
Now, that's a very important thing, because at a club like that, you've got to be a manager in control. The problem that United has had, even these Unai Emery's at Arsenal, they were never in full control.
Never. Because he asks for Zaha, and somehow someone signs Pepe for him. And
so he was never in full control. At Man U, Erik Ten Hag is trying to be in full control.
Yeah.
That's why he's doing whatever he's doing.
I think he's having enough backing from the club, because I've just seen that from the Jadon Sancho incident.
Exactly. Yeah. So for Arteta, you see, it's a project. You can't. I think Arteta will be there for. I mean, maybe not as long as Wenger, but he'll be
20
there
plus years
for a long time.
Yeah. So, guys, thank you so much for watching Cossy's Arsenal podcast. Of course, you can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Twitter. You can also subscribe always to the show on YouTube. I am with Webb, and he is on the hotspot with Webb on YouTube, on TikTok, on Twitter as well.
On Twitter as well.
Twitter as well.
Webb,
yeah.
everywhere.
So make sure you subscribe to him, and of course, we'll be back with another episode. See you soon.